Let me talk about something that has been in the news a lot, the unaccompanied children. The number of children that the CBP is encountering on the southwest border has increased by 92% over last year. I'm talking in the fiscal year numbers. Many of them are girls. Many more are under the age of 13. It has created a humanitarian crisis. Secretary Johnson on May 12th determined that this would be a level 4 condition of readiness within the Department of Homeland Security. That's a determination that the situation has exceeded the capacity of CBP and ICE and that we needed additional DHS resources. He chose the Deputy Chief of the United States Border Patrol to be the DHS federal coordinator. I think it tells you the importance that he places on these individuals that are on the front lines, but also the recognition that they were going to work closely with their counterparts. So making sure that these children are taken care of is a huge humanitarian act, and I've been down there several times. Chief Fisher in the front row and many others have been down a number of times to McAllen or into the Rio Grande Valley to look at this, and I would tell you that those Border Patrol agents are doing yeoman work. They're doing an incredible job. But also the bringing together of the interagency, having Coast Guard corpsmen deal with these kids, many of whom, by the way, in fact, most of whom, by the way, have never been treated by a doctor or a clinician until they've come into, until they've been encountered by us. FEMA has done an absolutely tremendous job. They know disasters, they know about coordination, they know about engaging the interagency, and they know about working closely with state and locals. So Administrator Fugate and the men and women of FEMA have done a great job on this. And as you know from Secretary Johnson's remarks yesterday, but also his visit on Mother's Day, to McAllen, that he also takes this very personally, and it's very high on his radar screen, as it is among every member of the Obama administration. This group they're all working together to ensure that these children are transferred out of our Border Patrol facilities quickly, that they go to Health and Human Services, and that they can provide from the moment we encounter them, with nutrition, education, medical care, etc. And then we expand that later through HHS and others to include housing, to include mental health care, etc. Because many of these kids have been tremendously traumatized. The vast majority, as you well know, are from Central America. They're fleeing hardships, they're fleeing economic conditions, they're fleeing violence within their own countries, and many are also seeking reunification with their families. While these children await the immigration proceedings that they are then under, HHS is working with these children and relatives to place them here in the United States into longer-term facilities. With the CBP custody, the DHS Office of Health Affairs, the Coast Guard, many others I've talked about, and so many volunteers. The Texas Baptist Men's Association, many other NGOs that are involved in helping to provide food, clean clothing, shower facilities, etc. It's a tremendous operation. We're working hard now to launch the public affairs campaign in these other countries to talk about, one, not only the dangers that these kids face by being placed in the hands of coyotes who are involved in smuggling them, not only those dangers, but also the dangers they face in other ways, but also the clear recognition that regardless of what is being considered now in Congress for comprehensive immigration review, that they would not be entitled to a path to citizenship as a result of entering the country now at this point. CBP, along with our partner law enforcement agencies, has surged criminal investigators to break the backs of smuggling organizations that are involved in this, oftentimes for large amounts of money, and oftentimes they could care less about the safety of those children in their care. So we're working hard to make sure that those people are apprehended, and the Department of Justice is working hard to make sure that they are prosecuted. So we've responded to the needs of these children. Our Border Patrol agents have brought in there, and our CBPOs at the ports of entry, also where these kids can walk up a bridge and turn themselves in. They brought in their own clothing. They've done so many other things that is beyond any skill set that they have, and certainly something they didn't sign up for.